Hello and welcome. Welcome back. If you've been here before, I do not know what this reading is going to be about. I had pre planned specific readings that I wanted to do, but um, I tend to channel right. Whatever creative energy is sparked needs to come from an inspired place. So when I don't feel that calling to my soul, that creative urge, if I don't feel like there's a download, I tend not to do readings, but I suddenly felt like I should do a reading. Um, and what I was hearing right before I sat down was remember the feeling, and don't forget the feeling. I feel like this is going to be a spiritual reading, like a starseed reading, possibly even a twin flame reading. At the bottom of this deck, as I was shuffling, was where are you being called to journey to? Now, the message that I was getting about don't forget the feeling. Um, we are, if you are on a spiritual awakening journey, you probably are well aware of that. I hope the noise outside isn't too loud. I'm well aware of this feeling like it's a roller coaster ride, like you're up and down, and then you're in and out and back and forth, and your emotions tend to fluctuate a lot. But not just your emotions, your energy. You can be feeling really high 1 minute and really, really low the next minute. And in the beginning of your journey, you tend to go through long periods of being on a high, and then you might go through a long period of a dark night of the soul. But it's almost like in the last year, it's been one day it's like this, the next day it's like this, or in the morning it's like this, and then at nighttime it's like this. Um, I feel like this banging that my neighbors is doing is significant. It's like something is under construction. Someone might be renovating their house. Um, and I hope you can hear me over the noise, but I have to do this recording now, otherwise I'll lose the message like I just did. Um, so yeah, our energies can fluctuate a lot. And it's sort of the same feeling that you have when you are away from the person that you're in love with, right? When you are with them, you can feel high and at peace and safe and really happy and really optimistic, and life feels amazing. And then when you are away from that person, you miss them and you can feel really down and you feel like something is missing from your life. Um, and if you are away from someone or people you love long enough, it's almost like you lose your spark, and you can't be creative, you can't be productive, or you can be, but not really. And eventually, it takes an emotional and a mental toll. And even though you might be actively living and doing things, it just goes backwards or it goes down. Your quality of life, things are just not going in the right direction. And that's kind of the feeling that I get about our connection to our souls and the divine, whichever way you believe. The divine takes its form. And what's been happening at a very rapid rate the last year, it's been happening before, but at a very rapid rate, is the so much noise. And I'm feeling like we need to rise above the noise and the noise of the world. you know, um, to reconnect within and above. And I was saying, like, there's so many astrological shifts and transitions, and solar activity and the frequency of the earth is changing at a rapid pace. But one moment, the planetary transitions is making us feel a certain way, and then another way the next moment. And the solar activity and the frequency on the earth, which is the energy, collectively, that the whole world is feeling, or your community or your country, or even the people in your home, that frequency, that energy affects us so much that we need to remember the feeling, but not just the feeling, the energy. And we all have moments throughout our life where we have felt deeply, deeply, deeply connected, and now the birds are gone, where we have felt deeply, deeply connected to God, the universe, ourselves. Um, I have, over the last number of years, have been having flashbacks of my childhood, before I had a conscious awareness of how the world works, or anything regarding religion or spirituality or anything. But moments where I would be doing the simplest things or being creative and feeling that deep connection, and even deeper connection than I felt to any of the people that were in my existence at that time. And I've been recalling moments like that throughout my life where I've felt that feeling, and you almost get a deja vu kind of feeling. Um, and even memories of really beautiful, completely amazing moments you've had with people and experiences. It could have been something in your childhood, like standing on the back of a bakkie, driving at sunset, and laughing with the wind blowing through your hair. It can be anything. Um, a really beautiful moment spent with your parents. Um, that feeling, that energy, we need to sort of consciously, with intention, remind ourselves of that energy and embody that energy more. And it feels like a lot of the time when we do get into that high now, it's from an external source, either planetary stuff, or you get a raise, or you win something, or someone brings you flowers, or whatever, or um, your partner makes you feel that way, your children makes you feel that way. And I feel like we are being called to tap into that energy. And I know many people have reached that level of self mastery where they can go into meditation in complete stillness, focus on breath, and get to that state where you can, not just emotionally, but you physically, all the cells in your body feel that kind of connection and that kind of energy, that vibrational frequency. And we are being consciously and subconsciously being activated and shown how to access and tap into that energy internally. Because we all have the ability, we've forgotten how to do that. And in the last week or two, there's been a theme of finding your center, because there's a lot happening in the world, and even within your own body, within your own mind and your own emotions, for us to be able to pull ourselves back to our center. Now, the importance of tapping into that energy is everything. And the more we are able to access that energy, especially when things are not good in the world and in our external environment, when we can tap into that energy, and not just the vibration, but the frequency, how frequently we can hold that high vibration, it's going to positively affect whoever's around us and whatever we are doing, because that energy, that love energy, that high vibrational frequency permeates into what we're doing. You can write a sentence in that energy, and write a sentence when you're sad, and that energy can be felt through someone reading that sentence. My bird tends to get really hyper when the energies are high, whether it's, high vibrational or low vibrational energies. And he's made me lose my train of thought. So we are being called to connect. We all have, I'd like to think we all have soulmates in this world, and it doesn't have to be purely romantic soulmates. People that make us feel that way, like home, safe, like giddy happy, like a child, free, and just like the best version of yourself. But you can feel that way without an external person. And not that we should. We are beings of love. We should be in connection. We should have all forms of intimacy and affection and connection. But what we have not mastered, well, most of us, is consistently having that connection with our souls and with the universe. And I think artists have that unlock. If you can compose music, or some people can just step into nature. And even mediums and psychics, when you can tap into the universal energies and read and translate that vibration, that energy and frequency, it is such a beautiful thing. And it changes you even on a molecular level. So we haven't all mastered that, and if you have learned how to do it, it's hard to maintain that frequency when external things are affecting you. Okay, I just rambled. I have no idea where all that just came from. I hope it made some sense, but let's pull some oracle cards and see what other messages. There is Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. There's so much noise. Your guidance is divinely guided. Okay, so in this card, there's this area here that's gray. And then this area up there that's colorful, and this person looks like they've walked out of the gray area into this colorful, beautiful world. There's a lot of Egyptian stuff going on in this card, lots of desert sand, and there's the Sphinx there and something else. But let's see what the book says about this card, and then I'll see if there's any other messages that come to me. This book is weird. How it's ordered. 1-1. I've been noticing it's been hard to focus my vision, especially outside in the last while. It's like the weirdest thing, the changes that we are going through. Okay, so the Akasha card says, Akasha exists in the 5th dimension and the library of souls. There's a reason why I had to read this book. So it feels like a lot of us have shifted into the 5D. We have probably been shifting between the 3rd dimension, the 4th, and the 5th dimension for a while now, depending on how far along you are on your awakening journey. But I feel like more and more we are more consistently in the 5D, which is why, like I was saying, with my vision being weird and feeling off balance, off center when I'm outside, it's like the reality isn't as solid as it used to be. It's like, or I'm not as dense as I used to be, and so grounded and so held down by gravity. Like, I just feel off when I'm outside, like I'm just learning to walk, type of a thing. Yeah. I won't go into that too much, but it also says all soul contracts, history, gifts, lessons, and more exist here. We each have access to this information of the past, present, and future and can tap into it at any time. While we have free will, there are also points on the timeline of our lives that are predestined or pre planned, soul contracts or agreements that were made before incarnating. It could be a company you chose to work for, a relationship you plan to have, or a person you agreed to mentor or help. Whatever it is, know that it is divinely guided and will not pass you by. It's so interesting how spirit works. Like when I am not in a high vibrational frequency, I can barely think about normal 3D things. But more consistently, I'm in higher energies. So these types of messages don't just come to me all the time out of nowhere, unless I'm in a high frequency energy. And then the cards, when I sit down to do the recordings, the cards say the same things. And I mean, I've never read this card before, but okay, let's see. So there's something about soul contracts. Whatever it is, know that it is divinely guided and will not pass you by. I'm sure at this point, most of us have really high intuition or even just inklings of, I want that job, or I want to move to that place, or you have met someone even just as an acquaintance without having romantic feelings for them, but just feeling like, I know you, or I feel like I should be speaking to you, or something. There's just some sort of connection there. And these are the soul contracts that we have. And it's almost like strategically placed. So one thing can lead you to another thing, can lead you to another thing. And yes, it says we have free will, but resisting a lot of what our higher selves can see everything. And yes, things will change and we'll adapt, but there are certain fixed points in our soul contract that we will continuously be guided to, and you will almost circle back again and again if you miss those nudges from the universe, that even sometimes it's warning signs like, here, go there, do this. And those things that we really, really love, that we feel such a great passion for or such a great longing for, those desires are there for a reason. And we can doubt that we can get there. It might be something really big or something that is rare or whatever, and our human self might not feel like it's achievable. But our higher self knows how to get us there if we do not try to control with our limited understanding and let our higher selves and our soul just take us there. But this requires us to overcome fear and doubt. If you are waiting for a sign to proceed, this card is it. You are likely living out an important part of your soul's journey, and you are exactly where you need to be. This is very exciting indeed. It is the time to call in the support of your helpers, both in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm. To trust the signs that are coming. Take note of your dreams. Notice any feelings or visions that you receive, for you are tapping into the wisdom of the Akasha and you are being given the go ahead to proceed. Work your light transmission. So it says, hold the card or your hand to your heart and say, I open myself up to receive the wisdom of the Akasha. I am ready to download any information from my soul records that is in my highest good and the highest good of all right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is so hard to overcome that fear and that doubt, like when the thing that you really, really desire and it's almost like it's written in your heart and your mind and your soul and the stars have aligned and it's within reach. Do not sabotage it, especially if it triggers our past traumas and experiences that have been negative. And pray about it. Ask for the courage, the strength, the wisdom to know what to do and to be able to do it, to hear the guided messages, for it to be clear. Um, there are so many types of affirmations we can do. We can choose to be guided towards our soul destiny through ease and flow. Um, but we also need to learn discernment. Sometimes the road is blocked because it's not the way we're supposed to be going, and sometimes the road is blocked because it's just being orchestrated in divine timing for things to line up and synchronize. And we don't have to make it easy. If you can tap into your higher guidance and it says pause here, and you pause and you're like, okay, but how long? Because like I need to get there at this time, this person's waiting for me. Pause. And when it says go, go. And when it says like whatever your guidance is saying, make that phone call, wear that dress, whatever it's saying. And it takes practice, but it gets easier. um, So yeah, soul contracts are, without our soul contracts, life starts feeling really meaningless because you can be around many people and feel alone. But when we are around our soul family, our soul tribe, um, then we feel connected to the universe, we feel connected to ourselves. When our vibration drops, theirs can help us raise our energy again. Instead of being in relationships that just drain all of your energy out of you, and you almost get to this place where you can't get back up and you can't get back out because you're so depleted. Um, but the relationship with your soul, that connection needs to be fostered and nurtured, um, so that it can grow stronger and stronger, and we can maintain that high vibrational frequency, that high vibration more frequently. Um, This is a rite of passage, an initiation, crossing the threshold. Before you cross the threshold, it can be really dark, but once you cross the threshold, um, there's no coming back when you are finally through. And it's almost like we've been acclimating a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And it can get frustrating again to the ego mind that doesn't understand it when um, it's like you're this close to being happy or having what you want, and then it's gone, and then it's there and then it's gone, or you just keep going and you're not getting there. But the deeper we connect, the more we connect, the stronger the bond comes becomes between ourselves, our souls, and the universe. It won't matter where you are and what you're doing, because you'll be home wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. So that's what we're doing. We are raising the frequency to the frequency of love. Um, find the things that your soul and your heart really loves. The people. Um, it drains you, makes you feel low when we are constantly in environments and doing things that we don't want to do, and we can often feel trapped by it. But if you little things at a time, helps. It sparks your energy. It gives you drive, motivation, and hope. If you can call your friend up that you love so much and have a 5-minute conversation, um, or spend 10 minutes outside in your garden, more and more things that you love every day. Pick up the instrument that you played as a child and now no longer do. Um, that kind of thing will bring us closer to love more and more frequently. Doing the things you love more and more frequently will help us to maintain that frequency more and more frequently. Um, Communication is key. It's also at the bottom of the deck. We are being called to express ourselves in whichever way and as many ways as we possibly can. Um, to heal our throat chakras, activate it. I'm not going to get into the chakra energy system and how that's related to the heart chakra and love, but I hope something in this video landed. At the end of the readings and the videos, I tend to not remember what the message was about, and I have to go back and listen to it myself. But if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, or subscribe, and I hope I'll see you again in another video.